Welcome to the Popcorn Panel.
And this week, we're going to be covering Interstellar and Inception. So last week, we covered Denis Villeneuve's Dune in Dune Part 2, and he got an 8.5 total. So this week, we're going to be ranking and covering Christopher Nolan,
With the two eyes.
Inception, and Interstellar.
Yep.
Interstellar, some people consider that the greatest movie of all time.
It's just not. It's one of the greatest.
What do you think the greatest movie of all time is?
The greatest movie of all time, hands down, is Hereditary.
We'll get
I think that.
Are we covering Hereditary this week?
We'll not talk about it. We'll talk about it someday.
We'll get to Hereditary one day.
Interstellar, I don't think revolutionized anything, and that's what I think you got to do to be the best movie of all time.
But I feel like Interstellar is so strong because it has that strong cinematography with such a fantastic story, and it rewards. It's a movie that you don't have to be paying attention the entire time, but it rewards you for paying attention the entire time with like little nods and little connections to everything that happens throughout the film.
But movies do that. They've done it before. Interstellar just built upon it. It's not the best movie of all time. It's great. I will agree. It's beautiful again. Just like the Dunes, it's beautiful. I mean, if you like space, you gotta watch this movie. Didn't they talk to scientists to like make it accurate and stuff?
Everything's accurate in
Yeah.
it. They made accurate black holes.
It's like not just a science fiction. It's like
No.
real.
Yeah,
real.
it's very accurate. Inception.
Inception, I don't understand it at all.
So,
I mean,
Inception's a very confusing movie. If we're gonna go through it, which is why we've left so much time to talk about Inception. So, Inception's a very confusing movie where you're constantly going from dream to dream and inside of people's dreams, and you're going inside of their dreams, So you have to understand what's reality and what's not. And that's one of the things that makes Inception so brilliant, because you don't understand when you're dreaming and when you're not dreaming. So it's kind of, part of it's left up to interpretation where like, is the person dreaming or are they not? And without any spoilers, I feel like it's done very well, where if you watch it on a second time, you're able to tell. You haven't watched it for a
I've
second
watched
time.
it 3 times and I haven't understood it any of the times.
And how many times were you on your phone for it?
All right. The second 2 times I wasn't paying fully attention.
Because you have to pay full attention. Your first time is to kind of get the groundwork.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to, but that's what the first time you're still able to enjoy the movie without understanding it. But the second time, if you choose to watch it for a second time, you feel rewarded for like being able to watch this movie and understand everything that's going on, and being able to like go through and explain it to somebody, be like, this is what's happening here.
I mean, quite honestly, I don't know what no one was doing with this. I think that a movie I should be able to sit down and enjoy, and this just didn't.
But
do that
I feel
for
like
me.
this is one of the movies you can enjoy. I feel like you can enjoy it without understanding it completely, and I feel like there are some people out there who will just pick it up, and other people who may not understand it could still understand it. It's not impossible to understand like you're making it out to seem.
I don't know. I think I was bogged down by the complexity of it. I got bored after a while because I just didn't understand it, and I think that the majority of people are going to be the same as me, and so
This is definitely one of those movies that you must like be
You gotta
paying
lock
full
in.
attention. You can't like be distracted throughout it. It's not one of those movies you turn on and just let it sit there in the background.
I guess. Well, let's get to ranking.
All right, Interstellar cinematography.
Interstellar, 10.
10.
I mean,
I'd agree.
It's just
It's fantastic. Inception cinematography. I give it a 9. Whether you like the movie or not, the cinematography is great.
Nah, but like
The buildings when they're,
to rank cinematography, I think about like how memorable it is. Like I can remember scenes from Interstellar.
I can too. I can remember scenes from Inception.
I just can't remember as many.
Like on 2 sides when it flips up.
Oh, I guess
like
so.
The spinning room, all that different stuff is like, it has these memorable moments.
I give it a 7.
7. Okay.
So
Story. Interstellar.
Interstellar. I mean, the story is just amazing.
Yeah. Weren't you just preaching earlier that's not the greatest movie of all time, and now you're back like, greatest movie ever?
I didn't say it's the greatest movie. I didn't say it's
Giving
the
it
greatest
straight
plot.
10s.
But there's different levels to a 10. There's
Okay.
like the 10 10s, and then there's like these 10s. Like
Okay.
these are 10s.
Yeah.
But I mean the plot is like it's like a 9 or 10.
Okay. I'd agree. I'd give it a 9.
9 plot.
9 on the plot.
Inception. I mean,
I'd give it a.
I give it a 1. Quite honestly, it's a 1.
It's not a 1 though. It's just not a 1.
I think it's
like I feel like there's differences, and giving it a 1 is like being not objective. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not a good plot.
I think we should give it a 5.
A 5.
Because there's gonna be half the people that like it and understand it, and there's gonna be half that don't.
Okay.
And so I think a 5
So
is fair.
basically, Interstellar's a straight 10, and Inception's around a 6.
Inception's a 6.
So, do you think that's above Denis Villeneuve's 8.5 or below?
Nah, it's below.
Okay.
I think Villeneuve, he's just consistent banger.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, he got that Interstellar and he got that Inception, which was less than these other films we're discussing.
Mhm.
He has other films. These are like,
Yeah.
kind of the big ones.
So, what do we think the number ranking? 8?
8. I go with an 8.
All right.
I go with an 8. Because Inception was pretty revolutionary. He did some crazy things there. There's not really a movie like it.
No.
So
Okay. So, the current list, Denis Villeneuve is in number 1 with 8.5 on both Dunes. And number 2 is Christopher Nolan with an 8, Interstellar and Inception. Next week, we're going to be covering M. Night Shyamalan's Stuart Little and Trap.
the dynamic duo. Stuart Little and Trap.
So, we'll be back next week to cover Stuart Little and Trap. All right, that's all from the Popcorn
We
Panel.
have to cheer.
Okay.
Yes! An 8. Number 2.
All right.